when you left, there was a hole in my soul. Now it is whole until the Super Bowl.
Hey YouTube, you're watching Week 4 edition of Let's Have Some Football. Now, in this last week of football, I did really bad in my picks again. I'm really bad at picking games. And this isn't even with spreads. This is just straight picking games. So, last week's picks, I picked the Bills to win at Miami. And Tua and the Dolphins, they move on. They beat the Bills, which I was very shocked at. I've been thinking the Bills are just going to steamroll everybody this year, but Tua did get hit in the head and looked a little woozy after a play, and we'll talk more about that later. But the Miami Dolphins did knock off the Bills. My next game I picked was Philadelphia at Washington. Now, this is the one game I got right. I picked Philadelphia to beat Washington, and Philadelphia had no problems. They looked pretty strong. They're now undefeated, 3-0. Jalen Hurts looking very dangerous. The next game I picked was Green Bay at Tampa Bay. I picked Tampa Bay, and shockingly, Green Bay wins at Tom Brady's house. Aaron Rodgers, it was a low-scoring game, but they prevail. Big win for the Pack. So, Cheeseheads can celebrate. That was a nice win at Tampa Bay. And they move up to 2-1. So, I was wrong on that one. I'm kind of glad I was wrong on that one. And then, of course, I picked 3 games, real like prime time games. And then I picked 1 Chiefs game. And I picked the Chiefs to win at Indianapolis, and man, that was a disaster in Indianapolis. The Chiefs should have won that game by 2 touchdowns, but just could not get out of their own way. This is the second game I've watched this year where a team snatched defeat out of the jaws of victory. The Chiefs, there's offensive problems. This is 2 weeks in a row where the offense has looked not so good. And defenses are definitely daring Chiefs wide receivers to beat them. And they're just not doing it. You can definitely start to see maybe they're missing Tyreek Hill more than they thought they would. Yeah. The offense is getting a little stagnant. Now, this happened last year, and teams were playing these 2 safeties against the Chiefs. And the Chiefs eventually found workarounds and started doing better later in the year. But it's happening again this year. Mahomes is not getting sacked, so the offensive line is doing a better job. But guys are not getting open, and you can definitely tell the offense is skipping a beat here. And man, the Chiefs just gave that game away. The Butker, the normal kicker, was injured, so we had Amendola kicking, and he was terrible. Missed a field goal. They tried a fake field goal, didn't make that. Missed an extra point. Just a disaster after disaster. For whatever reason, even with Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs decided not to utilize the last part of the second half to try to get down there and get a field goal. Almost like they're underestimating their opponents. I don't like seeing that. And Mahomes is not happy about that. He definitely wanted to try to get down into position, and the Chiefs were just satisfied with not going for it. That was frustrating to see, especially seeing your quarterback get frustrated with the coaches. And then, of course, second half, just dumb penalty after mind-blowingly dumb penalty that the Chiefs would stop Indianapolis on 4th down and get an unsportsmanlike penalty. That was Chris Jones. The worst penalty I've ever seen. Just a dumb move to get. You haven't stopped, and to get a penalty in that situation, I think it's unforgivable. That lost the game because it gave the Colts a chance to extend that drive, and of course they go down and score the game-winning touchdown. And there was also time management issues at the end of that game because the Chiefs, they had all 3 timeouts. The Colts ran the clock all the way down to 29 seconds before they scored the go-ahead touchdown. The Chiefs should have been using timeouts to save some time for Mahomes to give him a chance. They're not giving Mahomes this. It's almost like they're falling into a trap of thinking no matter how little time's left, Mahomes can do it. And nobody can do that. You're eventually going to get burnt on that. And they definitely got burnt against the Bengals doing that in the AFC Championship game last year. And they get burnt here. So terrible clock management at the end of the game where they gave Mahomes no time despite having all 3 timeouts. And of course, Mahomes having to try to pull off a miracle, gets intercepted. That's actually his first interception of the year. So he's been doing a good job taking care of the ball. But they went off the hands of the receiver, and it was just a bad game. Bad loss. Those are the type of losses that keep you from getting home field advantage and keep you from getting deep in the playoffs. So I lost that game. So I went 1-3 this week on my picks. Now, let's talk about this week's game. There's already been one game, the Thursday night game, and wow. Tua gets, this was Cincinnati. Miami is at Cincinnati, and Miami and Cincinnati are playing a pretty close game, and then Tua gets sacked hard and is knocked unconscious. It was ugly injury right there. The game had to stop down for a long time. Tua gets carted off. Who knows how long he's going to be out. I heard he's doing okay, but that was a bad concussion. And it instantly has brought up questions as to how thorough was Miami last week when they Tua got hit hard in the head, seemed a little woozy, but passed the test that they gave him and he stayed in the game. Man, NFL's got real problems here with concussions. We already know a lot of the CTE issues. And that was right there on Thursday Night Football, and a nationwide audience seeing Tua knocked out cold for several minutes. It was ugly. This is a problem for the NFL. They keep getting more and more advanced with helmets and stuff, but scary stuff. I mean, this is causing damage to these guys' brains. And what is the answer here? I mean, you can't. I mean, some people have said the NFL is going to be a flag football league years down the road. And, man, things like this make you wonder, are those predictions going to be true? Yeah, crazy. But anyway, after that, I think the Miami team was, obviously, they lost some focus there thinking about their quarterback. And Cincinnati went ahead and won that game. So a big win for Cincinnati. Miami, I think, will be fine. They have a good backup quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater. They've got amazing offensive weapons, so I think they'll be fine. They need to let Tua get well. He needs to be right before he gets back out there. That was scary. Okay, so the big games this week. that I'm picking. I always pick 3 games, and I pick the Chiefs game. So 4 total games. This week, we're going to look at the Buffalo at Baltimore game. This is a big game. I really want to watch this one. Lamar Jackson's having a really nice year. Josh Allen's having a very nice year. This is kind of like the two of the biggest quarterbacks going head to head at Baltimore. I actually am going to pick Baltimore. So you know what that means? That means Buffalo is probably going to win. But I'm going to stick with Baltimore as my pick. I think being at home gives them a little bit of an edge, and Buffalo did not look quite as dominant as they did the first couple weeks. Jacksonville at Philadelphia. Jacksonville 2-1, Philadelphia undefeated 3-0. Jacksonville's been, I think, by far the biggest surprise this year. They've looked really good, and they're looking like a playoff team. I mean, they're not having unimpressive wins. They've been impressive wins, but I think Philadelphia takes care of business. Jalen Hurts has really looked really good this year. They've got a lot of weapons. I see Philadelphia moving to 4-0 in this game. So the next game we're going to look at, Chicago 2-1 at the Giants 2-1. It's funny that this is actually a really important game here. A couple teams I didn't think would be above 500 after 3 games. I definitely think Chicago is the better team here. I think the Giants have gotten lucky. Sorry, Giants fans. So my pick is going to be Chicago pulling the road upset at the Giants. I don't know if it's upset. They're going to pull off the road win. And the Chiefs game. Chiefs 2-1 at Tampa Bay 2-1. Man, this is a big game. I'm definitely going to be watching this one. It's Mahomes versus Brady. You have to watch this. It's going to be great. Now, the Chiefs need to figure out some things on offense, but Tampa Bay hasn't exactly been looking amazing this year. They've looked okay. The key here is the Chiefs need to keep Mahomes upright. Don't let him get too much pressure. They already know they're going to be going against 2 deep safeties the whole time. So take what Tampa Bay gives you, make some plays after the catch, and let's take care of business. Chiefs will be right back in on top of the world if they can win at Tom Brady's house in Tampa Bay. So I am actually, since I really think the Chiefs could do this, I have to pick Tampa Bay. I kind of like picking against the Chiefs because then I don't care if I lose the game because I want the Chiefs to win. But the struggles on offense have me scared, and Tampa Bay's defense scares me as well. And Tom Brady always scares me, so I have to pick Tampa Bay. Let's see how we do on picks this week. So I picked Baltimore, Philadelphia, Chicago, and Tampa Bay. All right. And of course, we're not doing the survivor picks because Winto already won. And man, we did not do good on survivor picks. This year was very tough for me on survivor picks. It was tough for everybody. I mean, we did 2 in the first 2 weeks. Our survivor picks were done after 1 week. That shouldn't happen. This should go on through like more than half the year. But anyway, congrats to Winto. He got his Patrick Mahomes card. He told me he received it, so congrats. And stay tuned for more videos. Let's have some football.